But it's interesting, and he's atheistic, and I'd love to talk to atheists because...
Well, Andrew, but I'm sure you could talk to atheists. I mean, I know you have a lot of opinions about them. Unfortunately, everything that you've ever said, including the content of the upcoming video today, shows that you never have, and I don't think that you ever will, because God forbid you actually know anything about a subject you decide to cover. That'd be just too damned hard.
I used to be the #1 atheist, right?
The sheer bloody arrogance of this man. And you just know he means it. This isn't a bit. Literally used to be the #1 atheist. What the hell, dude? A, you're not me. And B, who the fuck ever knew that Andrew Tate was an atheist? And I don't mean like heard it after the fact when he did a stupid about it. I mean, who gave a shit about Andrew Tate, the #1 atheist? No one. Anywhere. His musings on a reality without any God are not something that anyone gives a shit about, because no one's ever heard it, and I'm sure it's like the rest of the ex-atheists I have covered on this channel. It was shallow, thoughtless drivel that was immediately changed to, no wait, God am real, after one person challenged them poorly on the subject. But because they never actually ever bothered to think about it, now God am real, I guess.
I used to believe.
But what changed that?
What changed it?
I didn't cut that, by the way. This is just a podcast with kind of weird editing. I don't even know why they bother. I mean, everything the guy says is solid, polished turds. And whatever. I imagine what changed is he looked in a mirror and saw the shine of his stupid ass head and said, "Me am the #1 God man. Whee!"
Is #1 observing all the evil in the world.
So I was about half right. He looked in the mirror, saw himself, and said, damn, if I'm this much of a fucking arsehole, then there must be a God, because reality works by fucking unbreakable rules, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't think many people are perspicacious enough to, and pay enough attention and genuinely understand how evil the world can be.
You just know that Andrew has one of them word of the day calendars and really goes out of his way to memorize the ones that he thinks makes him sound smart. But the thing is, the learning and even accurate use of dem fancy words doesn't make someone smart. You need depth of understanding and to say things that actually show you are in fact the Persepi boys of a topic, which I seriously doubt he is as much as he claims to be. Also, everyone knows that the world is fucking awful already. It has humans on it, including you, the worst one. Hey, he had to actually be the best at something.
And how evil it is.
Yeah.
We hear about crime, we hear about certain things, but there are truly heinous things that happen on the planet every single day.
I know, right? There's actually people out there who will just spill a bunch of booze like it's not a big deal. Unbelievable. These criminals get to go out there and just carry on their lives like they haven't taken away a chance for me to get drunk enough to actually deal with morons. God damn them.
Children getting murdered, people getting sick for no reason. Like, all of this genuine bad things are happening in the world.
No. I'm not laughing at children dying and people getting ill. I mean, I'm not just laughing at that. It is still hilarious. But that Andrew Tate genuinely thinks he's the only person who fucking noticed that bad things happen. My God, the man has an ego as big as my powerful, sexy ass. Where do you think you found out about these things, Andrew? It's from other people. You aren't fucking out there seeing between the lines into the shadow realm that no one else noticed. I mean, you allegedly cause a lot of those fucking bad things in the world, so maybe that's how he knows. But yeah, everyone knows the bad things happen. You aren't fucking special, Potato. If anything, you are just the most normie-ass motherfucker ever. A person who thinks they have special insight when all their takes are just basic as fuck.
As well as the fact that I truly believe the agendas in charge of the world are genuinely evil.
Of course, the Alubi Booby out there doing the bad things. That doesn't make you sound like a Fruit Loop at all. And look, I'm not saying that the governments are these giant virtuous organizations that do no wrong. But if you think they are full of nothing but genuinely evil people out to get you, and not mostly people who are just trying to make the world a better place and mostly just fucking suck at it, I think that you're a bit delusional, you know, aside from the corpos. But even they aren't evil per se. It's more that they just don't give a shit about anything but money. If being loving, sweetness and light was the most profitable way to do business, they absolutely would do it like that. They just don't fucking care. That's kind of what makes them so scary.
And there cannot be a force without an equal and opposite force. That's Newton's third law, right? If I push against you, there's an equal and opposite force.
You know that evil is a human concept, right? It's just their understanding of the universe, not a fact about it. Bad things happening is not in any way related to fucking physics, my dude. I mean, seriously, someday the Earth is going to get exploded by a meteor or gobbled up by the expanding sun, or even the opposite, where there's no more energy coming to the planet because the sun went out, or whatever. Many would see those as bad things happening, mostly because it would kill them, and all of those will 100% be actions having equal and opposite reactions. But humanity will be fucked. It will more than likely be gone, and there won't be some magical replacement for them, because that's not how that works. And mostly because I'll make fucking sure of it. Scorched earth, baby.
So if there's true evil, if you see Satan, if Satan appears in front of you, you're going to believe in God.
If the literal biblical Satan appears in front of me and is like, "Hi, I am the actual true Satan from the Bible book. I'm real. Here are my credentials. It's all real and a fact, and I am proof of that, and I accept that that is what just happened to me," then okay, sure, but that's not because I met Satan. It's because I was presented with evidence of the factual nature of that book. But remove Satan as that one from it, and it's just being comparable to the idea of Satan, just the most evil being, then not necessarily. I can absolutely think that there is a worst being alive, even one that is supernatural, without assuming that there's some actual opposite to them. I mean, not to internet things too badly, but Hitler was real, an absolute shitter as he was, but he wasn't defeated by one guy who magically appeared because of how bad he was. He was defeated by lots of people trying to stop him together. The equal and opposite in that situation was basically everyone else. And a lot of those people turned out not to be the best people in the long run. But they weren't Hitler bad. And when push came to shove, did what had to be done. Your understanding of good and evil is simplistic, childish, fucking nonsense.
Right? Yeah. And that's what happened for me. That's the first thing.
You saw some bad things, therefore God am real. But Andrew, what if I told you that if you believe in a God that is all-powerful and all-loving, then the existence of bad shit kind of makes that really fucking unlikely. Being all good and able to make anything that you want happen, and then allowing evil, well, then one of those things you are not, 100% of the time.
The second thing is, I think when you have negative experiences, and I'm talking about truly negative experiences, I've had a few where you come close to losing your life.
Oh, the urge to say not fucking close enough is real, but nah, I don't want Tate dead. God, no. The guy is always so hilariously fun to make, well, fun of. Also, I know where he's going with this, and it's yet more proof positive that he has never even tried to understand a fucking thing about anyone's atheism or the atheists themselves. It's almost like he's kind of ignorant. Yes, I am trying to win understatement of the century. Why do you ask?
Or you meet other people who come close to losing their lives. Nobody's an atheist at the end, my friend.
Wrong. Absolutely fucking wrong. And even if it was, how the fuck could you possibly know that? I mean, not just because, you know, atheists exist, but also there are non-theistic religions that have a complete spiritual worldview, including what happens to you after death. You think those people suddenly start believing in your God for no fucking reason, just because they're gonna die? I mean, you probably do believe that, but that's only because you're as thick as shit.
He will not be an atheist if he gets stabbed and he's about to die.
Oh my God, are you fucking stupid? There is no point in answering that. This is literally something that we have fucking data on, I'm sure. People who were atheists and then get stabbed, and exactly how many of them suddenly do a God though? I mean, I'm sure some of them will, but you know what? I bet there's people who were religious and had something traumatic like that happen to them, and they moved away from God, because that's what trauma can do. It changes your perspective on the world, whether that means your religious ideas or even others. People do change their outlook regularly based on that kind of thing. But they also don't do that. Plenty of people are exactly the same person. And the fact that you don't know that, it's absolutely fucking wild to me. It's like you've only met 7 people in your life. God damn.
And he'll be praying to God like you've never seen. Yeah. Atheists stop being atheists quickly when the game gets real.
No atheists in foxholes is just one of the lamest fucking arguments against atheism ever, since atheists literally fucking exist in the military, many of them having seen more combat than your pansy ass could ever dream of. Still fucking atheists. And you know, I get a lot of internet tough guys tell me, you wouldn't say this shit to Andrew from your videos to his face. And yes, I fucking would. What's he gonna do? Nothing. Because if he did, it would show that he's a tiny little bitch that can't be criticized without resorting immediately to violence. He'd be an absolute fucking pussy, and then he'd go to jail. No one's scared of that bitch. But I would bet real money that he's not going to tell an atheist who has seen combat that they aren't a real atheist, because I think deep down he knows his fucking place.
So all of us innately understand in God. The most atheist man alive will pray if he really needs help.
No, and if that's what you think the number one atheist should do, and that was you weren't a fucking atheist, dumbass. People don't innately believe in any kind of God, otherwise people raised completely secular wouldn't be so surprised when they first hear of the concept, as they often will be baffled by the idea. And then the rest of us, who don't believe after having been raised religious, well, we don't believe a lot of the time because we don't have that goddamn real feeling, and you just come to terms with that. Could you please stop being so confidently wrong about fucking everything? Then again, if he didn't do that, he probably wouldn't say anything.
So I think we all innately understand God. God's certainly real. God has, like Tam said, giving us innate understandings of what's right and what's wrong.
Hearing fucking Andrew Tate say that, I mean, irony police, arrest this man, but you'll have to be quick. The real police want a word with him too, apparently. And the thing is, even if you don't believe some of the more, big accusations about him, there is plenty of shit that this man has said and done that is more than egregious enough to know that he's a shit man. So the idea that he knows what's right, well, either he really does and chooses to just be the worst, or he just fucking doesn't. Which is it, Andrew? Because neither makes you come off as anything but completely fucking ridiculous.
And also, if we're going to talk about happiness, as James said, we're here to be happy and we're here to enjoy ourselves.
Are we? What fucking God are you following that makes you think that's supposed to be the case? Vast majority of the shit I have seen about this is that you're here to praise the guy. That's about it. Your happiness is fucking irrelevant to that asshole. And I'll tell you what, your unhappiness is definitely not relevant. If you're unhappy, that just means you're a piece of crap. In a lot of religions, how could you not be super fucking glad to live in a world that's so fucking full of evil, apparently, you ungrateful little shit?
It's through God that you're happy and enjoy yourself. It's not through that black hole of hedonism.
Oh, fuck off. The opposite of believing in God is not, well, guess I'm hedonism bot now. The best, worst robot in all of Futurama. Seriously, who the fuck would build that? Me, obviously, but yeah, no. This idea that atheists are just immediately hedonistic is so common and so fucking stupid that it's amazing. Also, people confuse the concept of maximizing pleasure with hedonism, when no, in this situation, the pleasure you are maximizing is supposed to be the opposite of suffering. It doesn't mean getting pissed up and doing all the sex drugs. And if you think it is, you probably have the understanding and depth of a 2-year-old.
It's not through endless pussy and supercars and booze, and it's not those things.
Isn't that like your entire fucking brand? God damn the hypocrisy. Hey, here's what makes me better than you and you should aspire to be me. Oh, by the way, all of that is shit. I mean, we have always known that the guy is all show all along anyway, so it's not surprising to hear him say that.
You can find any man who goes down that hole and tell me, are they happy? The answer is no. Who's the man who's happiest? The man who's praying.
Well, aside from, again, you literally, by your own standards, are selling unhappiness to your audience of children. Nice one. And how do you know that he's the happiest? You don't. You just decided that your way is right because it's the one that you're doing. But even if it was, who cares? Happiness based on a lie is still shit happiness. And anyone with any interest in the truth isn't going to be able to do that anyway. And since all gods are bullshit, it's not exactly going to work for me and people like me. It's almost like people are different and only morons think that there's only one way to achieve happiness.
What made me a lot more like faithful, I was like, okay, if you do good, it's hard sometimes, but long term,
it's delayed gratification.
Exactly, you know?
You can eat the cake now and you're happy you had the cake, but if you want to be in fantastic shape, you have to go without the cake and look better later. And
what? You can be in good shape and eat cake? The f*** are you talking about? The nonsense that comes out of this man's goddamn mouth, even his metaphors, are completely terrible. God damn.
You're right. God is very giving. And I think that I don't know anybody who did the right things and was good to people and showed people respect, even if it was hard at the time, who didn't eventually get rewarded for it.
I mean, I do. It happens all the time. Plenty of folks do the right thing and get shit on regardless. Although, on the other hand, treating people well will often make other people want to treat you well as well. All that is called not being an asshole. Something I do not believe for 1 second that you know fucking anything about.
If you're doing good things to get good things, then that's not because you're trying to be good.
Correct.
So I don't want people watching this and saying, oh my god, Mo and Andrew said if you do good things will come. They probably won't. And a lot of times it comes so delayed, and you'd only ever really get the good result if you purely did it as, you know what, I'm just going to take the good decision. If the good comes or doesn't, that's my decision.
You have contradicted yourselves multiple times to the point where that was absolutely nothing. Doing good things gets you good things, but sometimes it doesn't till it does, but it isn't actually happening. I am unsurprised that Andrew Tate is considered a smart man by people who have this shallow an understanding of reality. Fuck me.
I want to argue the God point a bit more for all the atheists who are watching, and I would say that
something stupid, probably.
That if you remove God from society completely, if you click your fingers and he's gone, and in most of the world where there's religion, and if you completely remove religion from earth, you'll see the devil appear pretty quickly. You'll see mass breakdown of society, you'll see crime, you'll see rape, you'll see murder, you'll see theft, and then you'll understand that God is a real force.
If you instantly remove a thing a lot of people base their moral values on and replace it with nothing, bad things will happen. Wow, what a fucking genius you are. Captain Obvious comes along to save the world with his yogurt spicy hot takes.
Even if you want to argue against God, even just the idea of God in and of himself, if enough people believe in the idea of a God and it makes them act righteously, then the idea is a real thing.
Ideas are real because people hold ideas, so they are real. Now, I think I'm done with the man who thinks he's the world's smartest brainer when giving us nothing but the most basic bitch tier philosophical takes in the universe. Seriously, how does fucking anyone with half a brain take this guy seriously? Oh, right, yeah.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstar Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos. And she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the